If I were a gambler, I would bet most of you spend more time scrolling through streaming content than actually viewing it. I would also bet that when you do decide to watch something, it's either The Office, Friends, or Family Guy for the 10 millionth time. Do yourself a favor and download the free Topflix app on the App Store. Topflix is a free content discovery app that uses personalized insights to cater to your taste and interests to help you discover new content. Explore and track curated watch lists developed by the tastemakers at Topflix. In addition to content discovery, this app includes a never-ending library of all upcoming trailers organized by month and year, a daily updated stream of entertainment news, and much more. Seriously, if you like all things entertainment, you really need to download Topflix. Now, let's get right into the video.
You just have to be able to adapt. The world's constantly evolving, and I know
Yeah.
like the pandemic forced it on people, because if you don't change, you're gonna get left in the dust. And some people they didn't even have the opportunity to change to keep going. But a lot of times, like if you figure something out, it keeps your business alive. You have to do it. If you never did online orders before and you're a restaurant and you switch now, like it keeps your business alive. So just when you get into business, you have to be willing to adapt. Things change constantly. And if you're stuck in your old ways when the world's changing, eventually, you're not going to keep going. So that's definitely a huge thing is, being willing to adapt, and taking risk is definitely part of it too. If you never take risks, you're never going to like get on higher levels. So,
Mhm.
Being able to adapt, taking risks, like that's just part of it, and you have to be comfortable doing it.
Yeah, and I think I think people are afraid to fail. That's why they don't change, because they think, "Oh, I've been like this. I've been comfortable." And weird example I thought of right now, but it's like that show Kitchen Nightmares, right? You have a guy
Mhm.
like Gordon Ramsay in his restaurants, and it's like, and it kind of relates to what we're talking about too, because it's like they don't want to change, right? These are business owners for years, and suddenly their business pummels right to the ground, and now they think, yeah, well, like they know that their business is doing bad, but they still want to kind of believe that what they're doing can kind of still make them kind of like float above water. But then you have someone like Gordon Ramsay telling them like, no, this is wrong. This we got to do. So I think sometimes people need that kind of kick in the ass to say like, hey, what you're doing, like you got to pick it up a little bit, right? And I think you know what it is, dude. I think because you mentioned this to me too, and it was something that really stuck with me. You do things like, for example, the content you post, the things you do, you want to make sure people like it. You don't you like you said that you don't really care that like you don't care if you like it as much as other people liking it, right? So that's something that was really important. I think people should really stick with that too, because a lot of people they do what they want to do and they think it's funny or they think it's good, and then people don't like it, but they still do it for themselves. But in reality, if you're trying to bring value to people, you got to do what makes them happy, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Your audience has different needs than you. Like, I know a lot of the time, if I like something, the audience will like it because, I kind of am the target audience, but not, I kind of, you want to let the audience decide what they want to see. And, you kind of could test things out and see the response. And yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it's all about the audience. That's, you know what I mean? It's kind of like saying the customer's always right. It's like, it's what
Mhm.
about it's what the audience wants. So you always want to bring value to the audience on a day to day. And, if you necessarily don't, here's the thing, you need to, if you have to have values as a brand, like what you want to post, what you don't want to post, as long as it's in your values, even if you personally don't 100% like it or whatever, if your audience does and it aligns with your values, you're good. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of, you kind of just want to you have to put things out there and see what works and what doesn't work, and then when things work, that's kind of when okay, let me double down on this.
Absolutely, yeah. And someone like me, for example, even with my show page, right? How it's
Mhm.
like, it's small right now because I just started and I'm looking to grow, for example, right? So someone like me, like that's starting off like that, right? I guess some advice you would give me is just again, I think you mentioned this before as well, like being contextual to the platform and always making sure you're relating to your audience and being like friendly and positive and stuff. But for example, like I know you like you don't care about how many followers I have per se, right? It's because you know the type of guy I am. So do you
Mhm.
kind of like to work with like-minded people like yourself? Like it makes your job easier essentially, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I just like working with people in general.
Yeah.
Anyone who's trying to do something for the tenant community, like, I always try to reach out to and work with, because it's just, we're in this together. We're trying to grow the tenant community together. And if I could bring light on that, like that's the goal of the company, and And we do it more with we do it with blogs too. We'll feature people doing good things, or other businesses will write about, or through social media. But yeah, if we could work together with people, at the end of the day, like that's what's really keeping the Italian culture alive. So we want to invest in it whenever possible.
And I think for me personally, again, going back to like I don't have a big page, right? The reason I'm bringing that up is because I've made some good contacts, especially you, Justin, and like my sponsor and stuff. And I think it's a matter of, again, being like the type of person you are. So even people that like there's obviously other Italian pages out there, there's a bunch, right? But the reason
Yeah.
why yours sticks out is because, again, even though people don't see your face all the time on the page, they don't like see you personally, they know that, okay, like the stuff you're posting, the stuff you're writing, the stuff you're promoting, the value you're bringing them, they go, okay, this guy like Mike, he knows what he's doing. He's a great guy. He cares about this type of stuff. So that's what attracts those people. I guess like those affiliates you have as well, the people that are reaching out to you, go, hey, I want to be a part of your brand. And it's not even
Mhm.
because of the followers necessarily, man. It's because you have a good brand. You know what I mean? So I think that's what happens sometimes, right? People just want to work with you because of who you are, which is better than people coming to you for your followers, man. It's better like that, because then I think what happens is you'll build a longer relationship with them, and a more like stronger one too. So they won't have the need to leave after.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of realize the people who are kind of in it for the followers and not really in it for the relationship and things like that. That's one big thing I definitely realize is, you know what I mean? It's better to have a close relationship with good people than like so-so relationships with people who are just in it for a following or whatever. Because if you're just chasing followers at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It really doesn't. You want like when I work with affiliates, we talk about long-term goals, and we try to help them out and do things for them. Like at the end of the day, they're helping you grow, so you want to help them grow, and you want to talk to them, be in communication with them, and it's like, you want to help each other, and that's kind of what it's all about for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.